Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Live broadcast. Me and Zhou Zhou's trial marriage, exposed by a researcher. Chen traveled through parallel worlds and engaged in scientific research. Due to family pressure to get married, she reluctantly agreed to the blind date arranged by her mother. But the blind date turned out to be Zhou Zhou, a backlash fighter who is one of the major anchors on the Shark platform. When Zhou Shuyi saw Chen, she completely threw away all her previous thoughts and said, "Why don't we give it a try?" At this point, Chen activated the divine level selection system. Option 1. Agree to Zhou Shuyi's request and become her boyfriend. Reward. Earn 100% of Zhou Shuyi's favorability, mandatory for men. Option 2. Refuse Zhou Shuyi's request. Reward. Design drawing of extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. As a researcher, Chen decisively chose the second option. Women will only affect the speed of my research work. During the process, both mothers suddenly called and personally came to the scene to force Chen and Zhou Shuyi into marriage. So, in order not to continue blind dates in the future, Chen conducted a trial marriage in cohabitation with Zhou Shuyi. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The first sentence of Zhou Shuyi's blind date, she opened her mouth and called out. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Pearl, the bright sun shines brightly. Within a high-end residential area. Shuyi, you must go to me this time. This time it's your Aunt Sue's son, who is tall, handsome, and has a good job. It is said that like you, I have never found a partner. The conditions are particularly good. You say you sit in front of the computer every day and do some live streaming. The little girls always bring their boyfriends home. You've been around for over 20 years, but you haven't brought any back. Are you planning to spend your whole life with the computer? Zhou Shuyi listened helplessly to the old mother on the phone reciting sutras. This phone call has been going on for half an hour, during which she tried every means to divert the conversation, but my mom completely refused to accept this. The topic of blind dates is unavoidable. Zhou Shuyi has a dying heart. Why would a popular female anchor with millions of fans fall into the trap of being urged to go on blind dates? This time she had a feeling that her mother was determined to force her to go. I'll go, I'll go. Can't I go yet? I'll listen to you. Since you can't disobey me, why don't you just follow my mother's instructions? Anyway, going on a blind date doesn't mean you're in love. Hang up the phone. The faces of Shonai and Danbao next to them were full of shock. Boss. Are you really going on a blind date? Hi, what are you afraid of? Zhou Shuyi leaned back on the sofa with a carefree expression. Who can be interested in me like this? I'll just say, brother, when I meet you, and it's all up to you whether he runs or not. Seeing Zhou Shuyi's posture like this, the audience in the live broadcast room began to burst into laughter. Sure, people have self-awareness. I laughed to death. When I met my brother, I knelt down directly. What? Miss Zhou is going on a blind date. Are you ruining someone else's blind date market? Ha ha ha, I bet as long as Sister Zhou doesn't speak, there's still a chance she'll be in love. The upstairs is too damaged. Why don't you wait for the blind date when the brother is deaf? Come on, continuing live streaming and playing games doesn't smell good. Sister Zhou. Even if you're married, you'll be idle and restless. It's over, it's over. The end of the day for my husband's fans is coming. Forgive me for being blunt, those who can charge at Sister Zhou are all immortals. Let's observe a 3-minute silence for that brother first. A group of fans in the live broadcast room mercilessly mocked Sister Zhou. This can also be considered a daily routine in the live broadcast room. After all, the most common topics in the barrage of live streaming rooms are topics such as regretfully having a long mouth, recoil fighter, and blocking charge. Upon hearing that Sister Zhou is going on a blind date, normal fans would react in this way. Zhou Shuyi has also become accustomed to it. But she is really going to be driven crazy by her mother. This week has only passed 5 days, and I have made 23 phone calls alone. Every time it takes over half an hour. If this continues, she won't be able to continue live streaming. Now she has an idea, which is to deliberately anger her blind date. As long as she shows her state during the live broadcast, unless the other party is deaf. Otherwise, the light ones will urinate and escape, while the heavy ones will flee in the wilderness. Boss, but Auntie said that man is tall and handsome. I think if it's good, you might as well find a boyfriend. Yeah, we'll stand up for the live broadcast tonight. Shu Nana and Dan Bao are also aware of the fact that Zhou Shuyi was urged to go on a blind date. They are Zhou Shuyi's second channel and usually act as proxy broadcasters. Every time Zhou's mother calls, they are visible to all. In fact, although they are Zhou Shuyi's employees, they are also good sisters and good friends. They feel that Zhou Shuyi has already made a lot of money and can leave the circle to enjoy life. I'm sorry. I, Zhou Shuyi, haven't seen any men before. What's wrong with being handsome? Can it be a meal? I'll tell you, the fans in the live broadcast room are my men. The one I'm going on a blind date with is the most handsome. Even if I'm Zhou Shuyi, I'm dead. I definitely won't even look at him. Zhou Shuyi is also an experienced player in the live streaming industry, and immediately seized this opportunity to liven up the emotions of netizens. This statement directly made the water users in the live broadcast room restless. Sister Zhou, you're great. We support you. Sure, my husband's fan is very satisfied, but could you stop talking and let me take a break? Grass, there are ruthless people upstairs. May I ask weekly, do I still have time to lose my fans now? Divorce it, I have already deleted the sign and cleared it. I'll go, if I have a woman like Sister Zhou, my mother will definitely skin me. After another hour of live streaming, Zhou Shuyi glanced at the time and it was almost time. Alright brothers, let's meet tomorrow. It's time to go on a blind date with me. As Zhou Jia was about to leave, the barrage in the live broadcast room immediately picked up the rhythm. Don't worry, we also want to see your blind date. Oh my, have you had enough live streaming time? Why don't you just go outdoors? Sister Zhou, we're tired of watching games every day. Let's have some fresh ones occasionally. We want to see the first line of your blind date. Brother. User, Sister Zhou, don't leave, gave anchor Zhou Shuyi a super rocket *1 users, blind date calling brother, gift to anchor Zhou Shuyi super rocket *5, user, live date, gives anchor Zhou Shuyi super rocket *7, Zhou Shuyi saw the super popular gift and quickly expressed gratitude. I hesitated a bit earlier, but since the audience is so enthusiastic, it's not easy to refuse. The main reason is that the live broadcast duration is a bit dangerous. Helpless, she looked at Tree Nana and Egg Treasure. Let's go then. You'll go and start broadcasting in the corner later. Although Shanana and Dan Bao were a bit worried, they still agreed. 1 hour later, they arrived at the Green Tree Cafe near Nanshan District. Shanana and Dan Bao started a live broadcast. Brothers, Sister Zhou is coming for a blind date today, let's have an outdoor party. Because I just mentioned a live blind date, there have been many fans and water friends waiting for it. As soon as the broadcast started, I heard such a hot topic and the barrage exploded instantly. Sleeping slot, really live streaming blind dates. No, I thought it was just a matter of talking and having fun, really. Hurry up, hurry up. I'm sure I won't have any popcorn or melon seeds. I specifically asked my parents to eat melons together. When the broadcast started, Zhou Shuyi had already entered the coffee shop alone. They deliberately staggered their entry time to prevent being discovered. At this moment, Zhou Shuyi was quietly playing with her phone and waiting in the empty seat. After a while, a figure came to her. "Hello, is this Miss Zhou Shuyi?" With the appearance of her figure, Shonai quickly lifted her phone and aimed it at the person. After the focus was over, the fans in the live broadcast room suddenly felt suffocated. "I'm Nima. So handsome. Isn't it lying on the bed?" Zhou Jia actually tricked such a handsome guy into coming for a blind date. This can't be paid for, can it? Oh my goodness, it looks over 1.8 meters. At least 1.83 meters. Wow, with summer by his side, there's no need to use an umbrella anymore. No, how could Zhou find a blind date at this level? This is a celebrity, isn't it? I think Zhou Jia just doesn't have a mouth, and she doesn't deserve this kind of temperament and appearance. Damn it, Sister Zhou will come up soon and call him brother. I think this guy will be confused for a while. Chapter 2. Activation of Divine Selection System, Sister Zhou. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Suchen came through time travel. For over 20 years, he has not awakened particularly powerful abilities. It's just that the logical ability is stronger than others, and the memory and physical fitness are also higher. He also went to a good prestigious school as a result, and after graduation, he directly went to work at the Semiconductor Research Institute. It's a relatively popular job. After stable work, one will face a problem. That's when family forces blind dates. He came 10 minutes early today, but unexpectedly, the other party came earlier than him. When he saw the appearance of the girl in front of him clearly, he gave a rating of 85 in his heart. The white short-sleeved T-shirt, tied in a ponytail, looks very ladylike. My face is very white, and my eyes are also big. Yes, I am. Suchen smiled and nodded, then sat down. At this moment, Shonai and Danbao, who were diagonally opposite, were also full of surprise. They didn't expect that Zhou's mother was a real person, tall and handsome, not to be boasted about. This is the handsomeness of Zentima. But they soon realized the seriousness of the problem. According to what Zhou Shuyi said before, she should be calling her brother very manly now. How do you feel like Sister Zhou is in a daze? Brothers, there was an accident during the live broadcast. It seems that Sister Zhou forgot her words in a fragmented section. It's over, Sister Zhou won't fall, will she? I used to say that even if she's handsome, she won't take another look, but now it's more than just a glance. Her eyes are wide open. However, that little brother is really handsome. I think I'm also a bit trapped. If Sister Zhou doesn't want him, I will. The conversation between Shunana and Danbao immediately resonated with the barrage. Damn it, as both men, I really can't speak without conscience, but this guy is handsome. Grass, Miss Zhou is definitely not a good match. Unless Miss Zhou doesn't speak in the future. Why are you so shy when you agreed to call it brother? Can you still refund the ticket? I'm laughing so much, it doesn't really smell good anymore. Why did you start talking with a muffled voice? Don't say it, Sister Zhou speaks with her voice in between, she's really quite a lady. TSK, I didn't expect Sister Zhou to become even more shy. It's really rare in this life. Can't it be? Damn it. Sister Zhou can already have a partner. Wow, my husband's fans said they can't accept it. I was numbed by Zhou Shuyi's true fragrance on the internet. Mainly at this moment, Zhou Shuyi blushed and lowered her head, speaking softly. In the live broadcast room, everyone had never seen Zhou Shuyi with such a small woman's posture, so they were all shocked. Many fans can accept that Zhou Shuyi has such a handsome partner, but those who claim to be husband fans can't stand it anymore. Speaking of which, on the side of the two people who went on a blind date, Zhou Shuyi stared straight at Su Chen's beautiful and handsome face, her heart beating more than twice as fast as usual. She, who was not nervous during the live broadcast of the competition, surprisingly had a chaotic inner world at this moment. Sleeping slot. This is too handsome, isn't it? She vaguely remembered someone who had said that being handsome was useless and could not be used as a meal. But I can't remember who said it. What clown? Surprisingly speaking such nonsense. Just the smile Su Chen just gave, she is willing to buy it for any amount of money. Cough. At this moment, 2 coughs came from behind her. This voice belongs to Shonai and Egg Treasure. She suddenly came to her senses, the clown is me. In an instant, the prepared lines flooded into my heart. She's a bit reluctant. No, she can't even speak up. How rude you are in front of such a big handsome guy. Hello, I'm Su Chen. Su Chen smiled and introduced herself to Zhou Shuyi. Hello, my name is Zhou Shuyi and I am a female anchor. Zhou Shuyi almost exposed her voice and quickly caught her voice. Don't you know me? Sorry, I rarely watch live broadcasts. Su Chen apologized and shook his head. After work, he usually continues to research academic papers and supplement knowledge. Not to mention watching live broadcasts, I rarely even glance at my phone and often forget the time. It's good if I haven't seen it before. Zhou Shuyi breathed a sigh of relief. What if the other party knows their usual carefree demeanor and turns around and leaves? However, she was also curious, what exactly did the other party do? Surprisingly, I rarely watch live broadcasts. What kind of work do you usually do? Zhou Shuyi asked in confusion. Su Chen pondered for a moment. I work at the Academy of Sciences, and I usually research papers and conduct experiments. In my leisure time, I read books and so on. Zhou Shuyi widened her eyes. So there are people who still love to read after work. Research papers and conducting experiments. Just as she was still wanting to know Su Chen, her phone suddenly rang. Surprisingly, it was my mom's phone number. She looked at Su Chen, who said it was okay. She quickly picked up the phone. Hello, Mom. I'm very busy. Zhou's mother over the phone quickly asked. Shuyi, what do you think of your Aunt Su's child? Are you satisfied? At this point, Zhou Shuyi had completely forgotten about the matter in the live broadcast room. Looking up at the handsome Su Chen, he covered his mouth and whispered, satisfied. Zhou's mother was immediately delighted, but immediately calmed down. My daughter finally fell in love with one and must seize the opportunity to pursue it. Shuyi, why don't you make a deal with Su Chen? Try getting married. As long as you promise Mom, she will never stop you from doing live broadcasts in the future. Zhou Shuyi was also somewhat surprised in her heart. Is this too urgent? I am really tempted. Shuyi, don't hesitate for me. Many people are chasing after Su Chen. If you miss it, then it's gone. Upon hearing her mother's words, Zhou Shuyi reluctantly accepted. I know now, Mom. After speaking, Zhou Shuyi hung up the phone. Then twisted up. So, Su Chen, why don't we give it a try? As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was confused. Everyone has only one question. Is this still Sister Zhou? Shu Nana and Dan Bao didn't expect that Zhou Jia had actually taken over. And the people in the live broadcast room are also very confused. Damn it, isn't it? Zhou Jia actually went up A. She went up A. Went up. Does she look up to Sister Zhou? Reasonably, it's okay for Sister Zhou to remain silent. Today's Sister Zhou is charming and cannot be rejected. Sister Zhou, if you go up there, you must be out of singlehood. Come on. This Su Chen guy works very well. Working in the Academy of Sciences. It's an engineer. This job is a golden profession. Brothers, if Sister Zhou continues to speak with her voice in her mouth, then we won't be enjoying ourselves anymore. Did the recoil fighter disappear from the circle? It's over, we can't mock Zhou Jie for being Zhu Chongji in the future. And upon hearing Zhou Shuyi's confession, Su Chen was taken aback. I am truly a live streamer, this is too direct. Just asked about the job and then directly asked if it was okay. He was about to refuse, but suddenly a voice appeared in his mind. Ding. Divine level selection system starts. Ding. Trigger selection, option 1. Agree to Zhou Shuyi's request and become her boyfriend. Reward. Harvest 100% favorability from Zhou Shuyi, mandatory for men. Option 2. Refuse Zhou Shuyi's request. Reward. Design of extreme UV lithography machine. Su Chen's eyebrows twitched. He didn't expect a system that hadn't been in place for over 20 years to suddenly activate at this moment. Looking carefully at the options in front of him, he pondered for a moment. Capturing his heart must be something he understands. But he clearly values the latter more. That's an extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. It is a key to breaking foreign sanctions. Think of it here. Su Chen's mouth curved upwards. I'm sorry, I'm usually busy with work and I can't take care of you if I'm socializing. Zhou Shuyi was stunned on the spot. Lying trough. Chapter 3. Have Su Chen and Zhou Shuyi's mothers arrived? You are listening at novelfull.audio. To be honest, Zhou Shuyi is still very confident in her appearance and figure. At least I used to be a member of a girl group. Dancing makes a debut, and the body is also very flexible. As long as you don't speak. That's definitely sexy. Temptation. At least it's stronger than those mediocre and vulgar powders who put on heavy makeup. Every time she goes shopping, many boys sneak a peek at her. Even those guys who were holding on to their girlfriends couldn't help but take the risk of getting beaten and take a second look at themselves, and ended up arguing on the street. This kind of thing is not happening once or twice. If it weren't for her high vision and the disdain of ordinary men before, she would probably have gotten married long ago. Today we came for a blind date, and she was worried about being too beautiful, so she deliberately put on light makeup. But she never expected it. Surprisingly, I ate it at Su Chen's place. Zhou Shuyi was directly stunned. Shanana and Danbao, who were live streaming in the corner, were also dumbfounded. What is the situation? Miss Zhou is so beautiful and lovely today. Someone who hasn't watched Zhou Jie's live broadcast actually rejected her. Busy with work, don't have time to take care of it. This is clearly an excuse. Is it difficult to think that you are an engineer, have a good job, and look down on Sister Zhou? She's Sister Zhou. The top anchor of Shark platform. The total number of fans on major social media platforms is 20 million. It's not just that Nana Shu and Danbao can't figure it out, even the people in the live broadcast room can't figure it out. Why was she rejected for not revealing her true voice? Although I joke about Zhou Jie being a fighter in the fight every day, logically speaking, Zhou Jie's appearance and figure are definitely my dream lover. That leg is the standard for playing with legs for years. How could someone refuse to speak up, Sister Zhou? This guy must have had a problem with his orientation, right? I don't believe it. It's likely that Sister Zhou deliberately manipulated it. Anyway, I don't believe it. From the beginning, when Zhou Jie said blind dates are called brothers, she was just trying to accumulate popularity. Now she has tricked people into coming in and started playing the script. Everything is said in the live broadcast room. And these rhythms are also wave after wave. Because no one would believe that Zhou Jie would be rejected. And it's Sister Zhou speaking with her voice between her legs. So more and more people don't believe this thing. Originally, in the afternoon, due to the gimmick of live dating, the popularity surged to over 9 million. I didn't expect it to be because of this wave after wave of rhythm. It suddenly fell by more than 3 million yuan. And it looks like it's still continuously declining. Seeing the situation in the live broadcast room, Shonai and Danbao tried their best to explain, but it was of no use. Go back to Su Chen's side. Just as Su Chen was about to get up and leave, his phone suddenly vibrated. Surprisingly, the caller ID shows that it is my mother. He sighed helplessly and answered the phone. Hey, what do you think of Shuyi? Su Ma asked happily. Because my son usually doesn't even answer her phone on blind dates. I actually answered the phone today. Su Chen said calmly, it's okay, quite beautiful. Upon hearing her son give such an evaluation, Su Ma immediately felt that there was a play. This is the first time in history that you haven't turned your head and left directly, even praising the other person for being beautiful. Son, listen to your mother and look everywhere with Shuyi. As long as you promise Mom. Mom will never disturb your work again. Su Chen hesitated for a moment. The work in the research institute is usually very busy. I finally took a leave today and came over. If this kind of thing happens every now and then, the laboratory project will be difficult to manage. Just as Su Chen hesitated for a few seconds, Su's mother on the phone became anxious. She was afraid that her son wouldn't agree, so she finally met a little girl who could receive a pretty evaluation. She can't sit still now. Ursma, please wait and don't move. Mom will be here soon. Mom. You don't need to come over. Before Su Chen could finish speaking, he didn't even listen to his explanation when he remembered the busy tone. Doodle Su Chen looked helpless. Just come over for a blind date yourself, and bring your mom over. Is this a bit of a joke? Is Aunt Su coming over? Zhou Shuyi suddenly felt a bit panicked. Seeing her parents so quickly made her completely unprepared. Su Chen nodded and smiled apologetically. Sorry for taking up your time. Zhou Shuyi quickly waved her hand upon hearing this. No delay, no delay. After speaking, she lowered her head and took a small sip of coffee. Shunana and Danbao are at a loss now. The development of this matter has completely deviated. What should I do? At first, Sister Zhou came over to scare off her blind date. Why has it become a serious blind date now? And looking at the posture, Su Chen's mother is coming over. If someone's mother comes over to make a match, it will really make a scene. That's all for the live broadcast room. If Sister Zhou really has a partner, those husband fans will be the first to pass the level. Then it's about deleting the brand. This is a significant loss of popularity. At the level of Sister Zhou, in fact, gift income is not important, what matters is traffic. If there is a loss of traffic, Sister Zhou will not be far away. What should we do? Directly download. That's even more difficult to explain. However, unexpected things happened. At this point, the pace in the live broadcast room was completely chaotic and divided into two groups of people. No, no, no. Brothers, if it were a script, this performance would be too comprehensive, wouldn't it? That's right, just hire a handsome guy and give him a mom. Who could write such a terrible script? Another group of people think it's just a script. Don't wash it, the more it looks like a script. It's outrageous. Bring your mom for a blind date. To be honest, I thought I could still wash it before. As soon as this mom came out, there was no need to wash my brothers. I'm tired, it's boring, I won't watch anymore. There was a commotion on the barrage, and although they all said they wouldn't watch anymore, their popularity surprisingly stabilized at 5 million. Shu Nana immediately understood. To prove that this is not a script, we still need to live stream it. Only by showing everyone the ending can we know the truth. Finally, at this moment, the bell of the coffee shop rang. Two figures suddenly appeared at the door. Now even Zhou Shuyi is foolish. Mom. Why did you come too? Chapter 4. Su Chen and Zhou Shuyi trial marriage, cohabitation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. That's right, not only Su Chen's mother appeared in front of me now. And Zhou Shuyi's mother. Two people actually came together. I kept saying they were best friends, but I didn't expect the children to kiss each other, which even alarmed the two elders. Zhou Shuyi was most surprised. Mom actually came from Pingshe to Mingzhu. Oh my goodness. She never expected it. If it really makes my mom unhappy, I won't be able to live stream myself. Come and unplug her internet cable in minutes. At that time, let alone live streaming. Even surfing the internet is exhausting. She still needs to make up for it this month, so she can't be disturbed at all. Now she's in a dilemma. Mom must have come to force her to try marriage with Su Chen. But they rejected me, and I am also very desperate. Mom, Auntie Li, why did you come together? Su Chen quickly gave up his seat to the second elder. Hey, what a handsome young man. He's so polite. Zhou's mother smiled and looked at Zhou Shuyi with a raised eyebrow. Look at Su Chen and call out, Aunt Li, you don't know how to say hello to Aunt Su. Ah. Hello Aunt Su. Zhou Shuyi's face turned red and she quickly lowered her head to say hello. If it weren't for my mom's reminder, I would have left a bad impression on them. This will affect the future mother-in-law daughter-in-law relationship. Zhou Shuyi was stunned. She didn't even have a word for herself or Su Chen. How could she just become a future mother-in-law? Su Ma nodded repeatedly upon hearing this. Hey, look at such a handsome girl. Su Mama quickly grabbed Zhou Mama and started praising her. Shuyi is so beautiful. Look at how well they stand together. It's just a pair. Zhou's mother quickly took over the conversation and praised Su Chen. Yeah, I see that young man Su Chen is tall, handsome, and has a good job. If he were with my family Shuyi, it would be a perfect match. The more I look, the more I like it. Su Mama turned to look at Su Chen. No way, son. Mom has set her sights on Shuyi today. She must be our Su family's daughter-in-law. You can't marry anyone in the future, you have to be Shuyi. Zhou's mother also blinked at Zhou Shuyi over there. I also recognize Su Chen as my son-in-law. Why don't you just give it a try? It's not like you're getting married right away. Try it, maybe you'll succeed. Experience your married life in advance, you must be a perfect match. After listening to her mother's words, Zhou Shuyi looked at Su Chen. Su Chen was also very helpless. He knew his mom would say that when she came. I have such a heavy workload and currently have no intention of discussing emotions. But the current situation is. Even if I refuse, my mother won't spare me easily afterwards. The design of the lithography machine is coming soon, and the work ahead will definitely be very intense. If my mother continues to push for marriage and blind dates like this, arranging him every now and then, the project after that will definitely have problems. How about agreeing in name first, and if it's not suitable in the future, we can separate. With this in mind, Su Chen nodded. Okay, Shuyi and I will try for a while. But there's a requirement. If Shuyi thinks it's not suitable, I hope the second elder doesn't force us anymore. Su Chen nodded, and both Su's mother, Zhou's mother, and Zhou Shuyi breathed a sigh of relief. The people in the live broadcast room are all numb now. Because someone has already reacted. Sleeping slot, this is not a script. That's Sister Zhou's mother. Hiss. I haven't heard of a script that invites my own mother over. What about the script just now? Let me tell you, it's just the script. I also found it interesting. If it's not a script, then wouldn't it mean that Sister Zhou really wants to try out this handsome guy? Sleeping in bed. Sister Zhou is in love. My mom. Grass, it's over. If Sister Zhou exposes her true nature later, will she be returned by Su Chen? I won't look at Sister Zhou anymore. My husband has lost his fans. Woo woo. Go upstairs and accumulate some virtue. Do you still want Sister Zhou to be single for a lifetime? This was arranged by the mother of both families. What's wrong with listening to Sister Zhou's gentle voice in the future? Brothers, I announce that there will be no more recoil fighters in this live broadcast room. If anyone continues to use, unfortunately, they have a long mouth, they will directly ban the package. Let me be more conscious. Tearful eyes. This is a memorable day. I would like to call this handsome brother in law. Because the barrage interaction started, it directly led to a surge in popularity in the live broadcast room. Because it's not a script, those water enthusiasts immediately ran back to see the situation. So the popularity suddenly returned to 9 million, even approaching 10 million. At this moment, Su Mama strikes while the iron is hot. Ursma, since it's a trial marriage, you can move in together. Zhou Shuyi's face turned red immediately upon hearing these words. Is this cohabitation necessary? Do you have to cohabit after only realizing it for less than an hour? But the thought of opening her eyes every day to see Su Chen's gentle smile. She really feels a little restless in her heart. But Su Chen felt a bit inappropriate. How can a girl accept this short acquaintance? However, when he looked at Zhou Shuyi, he found that there was actually some expectation in her eyes. Zhou's mother also spoke up, not only did she not object, but she also skipped their opinions directly. Shuyi, do you have a room over there? At this moment, Su Mama immediately grabbed Zhou Mama. What are you talking about? Our family is short of those 1 or 2 wedding houses. Speaking, Su Mama took out 2 keys from her bag. This is a wedding room that has long been prepared for future daughter-in-law. Just in the first grade of Tangchen. Tonight, you guys move in. Get used to it in advance. Shuyi, if you feel uncomfortable, tell auntie that there are many houses at home, you can choose whatever you want. Su Mama casually picked up Zhou Shuyi's hand and handed her the key. Zhou Shuyi looked bewildered. There are many houses at home, choose whatever you want, good guy. And you didn't hear it wrong, did you? Aunt Su seems to say that with this key in her hand, she can open Tang Chen's first-class house. Tang Chen first class. That's the most valuable house in Mingzhu. I have been a live streamer for so many years, and although I have saved a lot of money, it is still impossible to buy the first grade of Tangchen. The houses inside often cost billions, even hundreds of millions. There is a host in the live streaming circle called Dama Ho, who also made a lot of money by doing live streaming. I have accumulated tens of millions, but it is still very far away from the first grade of Tangchen. He dreams of living in a first-rate house owned by Tangchen. And you're about to move in. Zhou Shuyi felt like a dream, and for a moment, she found it difficult to accept this reality. A thought surged in her mind. Is it difficult? Is my fiancé a wealthy second generation? Su Chen also took a key. After agreeing to his mother's proposal, he lowered his head and glanced at the time, realizing that it was time to take leave. Mom, Aunt Li, Shuyi, my unit still has something to deal with, so I'll go back first. Zhou Ma and Su Ma both achieved their goals, smiling and naturally wouldn't stop them. Zhou Shuyi also nodded blankly. Then Su Chen left the coffee shop. Chapter 5. Dumb Girl. Sister Zhou, this is Chiguo. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Zhou Shuyi bowed and bid farewell to her mother and Aunt Su, and then sat on the chair feeling relieved. Staring blankly at the key in hand. The live broadcast room had already exploded. Tang Chenipin. That's Tang Chenipin. At Big Monkey, why don't you come over and show your hospitality? Maybe Sister Zhou is happy and wants you to go to Tang Chen's first class for a walk. No, Su Mama's words are too Versailles, right? There are many houses at home, so you can choose anything. Suchen still needs small things. I want to do small things, not for fame or a house, mainly because Suchen's personality charm is very attractive to me. Upstairs, maybe the girl has a chance. Those who bring bayonets are definitely not good. Is it okay to wear a scabbard? Guess what? Get rough, everyone get rough. You're insulting engineers, you know. If Su Gong is researching something amazing, you're just stigmatizing heroes. Sleeping trough, I was wrong. Don't report it, brothers. In the future, will Sister Zhou be broadcasting on Tangchen Ipin? Can you open an outdoor space and let me see what Tangchen Ipin looks like? Please take a look at Tang Chen's first grade. +1 +1 +1 +1. If you can take a glance at Tang Chen's first grade, I will die without regret. At this moment, Shonai and Danbao, who were live streaming throughout the corner, were still in shock. Do they feel like they're dreaming? Miss Zhou's blind date was successful. And Zhou Jie is going to live stream with Tang Chinipin. Egg treasure, are we also going to live in Tang Chinipin? Danbao has not yet reacted and doesn't understand what Shunana means. You're silly, we're on channel 2. Wherever Sister Zhou live streams, we'll stay. Danbao suddenly widened his eyes. Yes. Tang Chen's first grade is so big, and there is no shortage of rooms for the few of them. If Sister Zhou moved into Tang Chen's first class, wouldn't she also be able to be exposed to it? The two of them immediately rejoiced. Hurriedly arrived at Zhou Shuyi's side. Boss, when will we move over? That's right, boss. We also want to stay at Tang Chinipin. At this point, Zhou Shuyi has not yet reacted. After Su Chen left the coffee shop, she quickly rushed to her workplace. He celebrated the reward he had received as he hurried on. Ding, get reward extreme UV lithography machine design. The sound of the system's prompt slowly fell, and his brain immediately sucked in a large lump of seawater like a dry sponge. Suddenly, a new understanding of lithography machines emerged. Upon carefully examining these memories, Su Chen's heart stirred up a ripple. This design drawing of the lithography machine is really a blueprint of the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. This is EUV. Not a DUV. This lithography machine supports 7 nanometers, 5 nanometers, and 3 nanometers process lithography. If it can really be manufactured, then their research institute can produce advanced chips. No one knows better than Su Chen how much extreme ultraviolet lithography machines are needed in today's country. How huge the chip market really is. How many companies are desperately in need of self-developed chips to break the bottleneck of being choked by foreign countries. He must immediately put the blueprint in his mind onto paper. So he returned to the office and began to bury his head in drawing design drawings. Because I have a blueprint prototype in my mind, I can draw it quickly. In less than an hour, he had already finished all the drawings. He immediately called his mentor. At this point, Weibo is already full of news about Zhou Shuyi's blind date. Zhou Shuyi's live blind date and trial marriage with the husband, Zhou Shuyi's trial marriage partner Su Chen, the man's mother actually gave him a set of Tang Chen's first grade. This hot search ranking is not too high, but it is also on the list. This wave has directly attracted the attention of many people. Moreover, Sister Zhou has a high reputation in the circle and is also very popular. When she had an accident, many big anchors paid close attention to her. For example, her good sisters were the first to contact her. She is also a multi-million-dollar female anchor on the Shark platform. Sister Zhou, you can be considered answering the phone. What the hell is going on? Are you a script? Tell me, you hired it from the actor. At the beginning, there was a problem of continuous fire. The voice of the little sister who stayed on the phone was full of anxiety. She was Sister Zhou's best sisters and worried. If Zhou Jie really succeeds in her blind date, wouldn't she become the only old woman of the shark? Good sisters should share weal and woe. She only hopes that Zhou Jie is busy with her work this afternoon. Because that Su Chen is really too handsome. She is very envious. Damn it, it's not a script, it's real. Stupid little girl, stand still on the spot. A face full of disbelief. No. I'm such a beautiful woman, with a beautiful and feminine voice. Why haven't I gotten married yet? Zhou Jie, such a bold and unrestrained old woman, surprisingly became virtuous before herself. Stupid little girl is a bit difficult to accept. At this moment, Xiao Yuan, the second station of the silly girl, suddenly came to the phone. Damn it, it's not good anymore. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are starting to beat the rhythm. Say you're the only old woman of the shark. What? The silly little girl wants to cry without tears. Sister Zhou laughed heartily from her side. Absolutely. Old woman, please seek your own blessings. Next to her, Shonai quickly opened the live broadcast room of the silly girl. Sure enough, everyone below is scrolling through the screen. Congratulations to the old woman for raising the title of only old woman. I hope the old woman can become the new generation of Zhu Chongji. Old woman, even Zhou Jie has a partner, why haven't you moved yet? Your husband has so many fans, can't you find one? Zhou Jie's husband is an engineer, what does an old woman's husband need? Looking for an old woman. Forget it. Just don't talk to Sister Zhou. Looking for an old woman, afraid of starving your child in the future. No, I feel like I'll starve to death first. There's something upstairs. Damn it, the barrage exploded in the live broadcast room. Sister Zhou, this is the betrayal of red fruit. The rhythm has come to me. Zhou Shuyi laughed heartlessly and said, Mr. Dai, don't say anything. I'll treat you to dinner tomorrow. I'll move first. Mr. Dai spat out and went back to deal with the live broadcast room. Hanging up the phone, there were also various messages on the authority. Pineapple. Sister Zhou, why are you so ruthless in abandoning me? Can you give me another chance? Does my brother.in.law mind if I continue to be a licking dog? PDD. Brother Sleeper, your banana boat is sailing too fast. Leave a spot for me at the dinner party. Decima said, why is Miss Zhou so feminine today? At first, when we talked about live streaming blind dates, I thought you were on the first floor, but it turned out you were on the third floor. But after watching your live stream end and gaining 300,000 followers, I found out you were on the 10th floor. Nanhua Air. When will you treat me to dinner? Call me when I move tomorrow. Dema Ho. Sister Zhou, show your younger brother what Tang Chen's first-class house looks like. Seeing the blessing of brothers and sisters, Zhou Shuyi felt warm in her heart. Chapter 6. In the future, you will leave work early and accompany you. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On the way, Su Chen got through to her teacher's phone. Teacher, I have an idea about the design drawings of an extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. Su Chen briefly explained the design ideas for important parts of the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine in her mind to her teacher. The phone was listened to very attentively, followed by a brief silence. Then came an exclamation of surprise. Your idea is good and feasible. So, you can go back to the research institute first and we will discuss it in detail. Teacher Yang, whose real name is Yang Ping, is an expert at the Mingzhu Semiconductor Science Research Institute and the youngest academician of the academy. At the age of over 40, he invented a map of the 10-nanometer chip process. Last year, a map of the 7 nanometers chip process was officially released. It is currently the most advanced nanotechnology process in China. A graph is the most essential blueprint for designing a chip. How important is this small blueprint? The shape and size of each gate must be pre-designed. And this thing will directly affect the power consumption, heating condition, and performance of the chip. This precise design requires a top-notch understanding in the semiconductor chip design industry. It is precisely because of these tremendous contributions made. Yang Ping has not only become an authoritative academician in the semiconductor field, but also a national treasure-level academician. Su Chen has been with Yang Ping all year round. He is Yang Ping's proudest student and assistant. Even many major experiments in the semiconductor field were watched by him and completed by Su Chen himself. This kind of practical opportunity to train people is very rare. I don't know how many senior engineers in the research institute dream of it. And only Su Chen has this treatment. The reason is very simple. Because Su Chen is a genius. Still his student. He was very optimistic about Su Chen, and Su Chen seized the opportunity and did not disappoint him. It is precisely for this reason that Su Chen's knowledge and status have improved so rapidly. At this point, Su Chen has returned to the laboratory and is discussing with the teacher about the design drawings of the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. I didn't expect you to have this inspiration. Xiao Su, you gave me a big surprise. With this design, we can start the research and development of the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. I just heard a bit blurry on the phone, but Yang Ping only listened briefly. But after sitting down, Su Chen explained all those thoughts clearly. Directly stirred up a huge wave in his heart. However, as one's own proud student, being able to think of these things is also expected. Teacher, if there are drawings, can we apply to establish this project? I think the earlier this project starts, the earlier it can solve the bottleneck problem. Yang Ping put down his glasses and smiled, saying, Xiao Su, I will apply for this matter as soon as possible. I care more about your afternoon blind date now. How does the other person look? Yang Ping sat on a chair, drinking hot tea from a thermos. Not bad. Yang Ping glanced at Su Chen and said, that's it. Just these 2 words. Su Chen scratched his head, and if he were asked to introduce work matters, he could say a few more words. But when it comes to girls, he has no such thoughts at all. So, tell me everything about this afternoon. Yang Ping glanced at Su Chen and spoke up. Su Chen had no choice but to reveal everything. Of course, the system's issues were excluded by him. The teacher is a parent, and the teacher has provided him with too much help, so he did not conceal that he agreed to it for the sake of work. Upon hearing this, Yang Ping frowned and said seriously, how can this be done? How can one wrongly treat their family for work? I know you best, kid. If we had this project, we would definitely lose contact again. Are you planning to cool down and make the little girl angry when the time comes? Yang Ping thought this way because Su Chen had really done it before. Just to write a paper, I couldn't get through the phone and couldn't find anyone. Not only that, he, who is a teacher, cannot be contacted, but even his family thinks that his whereabouts are unknown. When I found him, this kid locked himself in the basement. Su Chen didn't speak. I have to say, the teacher knows him very well. He just made a request for Zhou Shuyi to part ways if she doesn't want to. It's just to avoid going home and make Zhou Shuyi hate herself. Then take the initiative to give up. I will explain to my mother again that he and Zhou Shuyi are not suitable. They are very busy during this period and don't have time for blind dates. Yang Ping sighed. He taught Su Chen for 7 or 8 years. You can tell at a glance what this child is thinking in his heart. Mainly because this child is innocent. Don't be fooled by high education and handsome appearance. After so many years of dedicated research, I haven't even had a romantic relationship. Dealing with cold vessels and instruments all day long. Although I am a teacher, when considering from the perspective of elders. He is really worried that Su Chen will become a bachelor in the future. So he patiently said, Xiao Su, engineers are also ordinary people, and they have to take care of their families. Since you promised the little girl, you have to take responsibility. So, from now on, you'll be off work at 6 o'clock every day. Upon hearing the teacher's words, Chen immediately stood up. Teacher, this is absolutely not possible. This project is so important, I also want to participate. Yang Ping pushed Chen back onto the stool. Who said they won't let you participate? You kid forgets the time when you start working. Make sure that everyone else in the office also needs to cooperate with you. You can handle it yourself when you're young, but we people lack the capacity. You must give them and me a good rest. Actually, Yang Ping is lying. Chen has a passion for scientific research, isn't everyone else? Even if Chen doesn't work overtime, they will still do it. So, it's just to make Chen go home and spend more time with his girlfriend. Two people just got together and need some time to be with each other. If you continue to bury your head in the research institute, if this hard-to-find object also leaves, it will be difficult to find in the future. As for this lie, if Chen suspects it, he just had his subordinates act, ostensibly finishing work with him, and then returning when the time came. In order to prevent Chen from refusing, Yang Ping sternly said, "Don't refuse, otherwise, don't participate in this project." Chen's heart sank now. He knew the teacher's words sincerely. I finally had the opportunity to participate in the lithography project, and he must not be excluded. I understand, teacher. I just need to finish work at 6 o'clock. This project must involve me. Yang Ping nodded and pointed to the wall clock. The pointer above has already pointed to the number 7. Chen sighed. Teacher, I'll leave first. Let's discuss this matter carefully tomorrow. Yang Ping nodded slightly and said, I will contact the other professors on the opposite side tonight. When you come, let's explore together. Watching Chen take off his white coat and leave the research room, Yang Ping finally felt satisfied. After deliberately waiting for a few seconds, he quickly picked up the blueprint on the table and rushed out of the room. How could he not be excited? Actually, when Chen just brought out the drawings, he was already eager to apply for the project. But because he was worried about Chen's blind date, he reluctantly went to discuss with several other professors. After leaving the unit, Chen went to the high-end residential area where Zhou Shuyi was located. Zhou Shuyi didn't expect Chen to be willing to come and pick her up. I am extremely excited inside. So I waited downstairs early. The car was quite stable at the entrance of the community, and Chen took the initiative to get off the car and help Zhou Shuyi put away her luggage. Although he was just trying to deal with his mother, Zhou Shuyi is still a nominal girlfriend no matter what. Thank you. Zhou Shuyi was somewhat flattered and quickly thanked. Chen scratched her cheeks and got along with the girl, feeling like she was conducting an experiment with too many unknown factors, feeling a bit clueless. He let out a hiss. Is he shy? Zhou Shuyi's heart was about to shout out. This is too cute, isn't it? Not long. Chen and Zhou Shuyi have arrived at Tang Chen's first grade. I saw several butlers in tailcoats waiting at the door. He has arrived, and the butlers immediately come forward. Mr. Su. Welcome home. Su Mama had already contacted the butler of Tang Chenipin in advance. Every homeowner here has a butler team in charge. In order to meet the owner's requirements in a timely manner, they received a notification. Tonight, the biggest business owner of Tang Chen's first class is coming to stay, so he has been waiting here for a long time. P.S. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly tickets. Dear everyone, please support us please. Chapter 7. What kind of engineer is little brother? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. What is the concept of the largest owner? The largest house in Tang Chen's first class is 1,200 square meters. 3 elevators and 1 large flat floor for each household. The price of a house is now 500 million yuan. However, there is a house like this that is not yet worthy of being called the largest owner. The Su family has 5 such houses. In addition, there are more than 10 medium-sized commercial housing units. Just now, Su Mama called. It is said that the son and daughter-in-law are moving in. It directly alarmed the general manager of Tangchenipin. I'll call them immediately over there and ask them to treat me well and not neglect me. So they respectfully escorted Su Chen and Zhou Shuyi to their doorstep. That's when I stepped down. At this moment, Zhou Shuyi was also stunned. She felt as if she was dreaming. It's said to be a first-class house by Tang Chen, but it's not that big. This is too big. This space really allows you to play hide and seek. The most crucial thing is that she didn't expect Su Chen's family to be so wealthy. Let me take you to the bedroom. Su Chen pointed to the room in the corridor and casually helped Zhou Shuyi pick up her suitcase. Thank you. But Zhou Shuyi quickly agreed, but did not notice Su Chen's hand that had already been extended. As a result, she immediately grasped Su Chen's big hand. The feeling was like touching an electric current, and she instinctively withdrew her hand in embarrassment. She quickly looked at Su Chen, only to find that he had clearly paused, but immediately continued to carry the box as if nothing had happened and entered the room. When Su Chen put down his suitcase, the atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Can I start a live broadcast? Zhou Shuyi quickly found a topic. Su Chen nodded and said, sure, after all, this is your job. I will try my best not to disturb you. He pays great attention to mutual respect. So I left the bedroom straight away. At this moment, Zhou Shuyi collapsed on the bed and accidentally touched Su Chen's hand. Her heart has not yet calmed down. Did it feel like this when I touched a boy's hand? She had never touched any other man except for holding her father's hand. She stared blankly at her bright and fair fingers at the ceiling when the alarm clock on her phone suddenly rang. It's time for the live broadcast. She hurriedly opened her phone and could only make do with it. Because we definitely can't finish moving today, we can only take some ordinary daily necessities first. Wait until the next day is daylight before moving on. A large number of water enthusiasts and fans have long been waiting in the live broadcast room. Because many people missed the afternoon live broadcast. After getting off work, I suddenly heard that Sister Zhou had a successful blind date, which left me completely confused. Unexpected. Surprise. I can't believe it. Everyone is very curious, who dares to marry Zhou Jie? After the live broadcast room was loaded, Zhou Jie herself appeared in the screen. The live broadcast room immediately became boiling. Sleeping slot. Sister Zhou is here. Where is Zhou? She can't really be at the blind date's house, right? That's it. Maybe it's Tang Chen's first grade. In the afternoon, Zhou Jie's future mother-in-law gave her the key to Tang Chen's first grade directly. Sister Zhou, take us to see Tang Chen's first grade. Can you take a look at the handsome guy? I'm here for Su Chen, the handsome guy. What kind of house does Tang Chen's first grade house look like? Perhaps it's because Tang Chen's first grade is so famous that everyone wants to see his true appearance. So there are also many small business owners who are crazy about brushing gifts. User, Blood Book Reading Room, gives Anchor Zhou Shuyi Super Rocket *1, User, Cloud Owner of Tangchenipin, gives Anchor Zhou Shuyi Super Rocket *1, User, Live Watching Tang Chen's first product, gives Anchor Zhou Shuyi Super Rocket *3, the water enthusiast in the live broadcast room excitedly made requests, and Zhou Jie was also very helpless. Brothers, I did move into Tang Chen's first class, but Su Chen is also here. In order not to disturb him, I will keep my voice down. She poked her head out to take a look and found that Su Chen was not outside. So I explained the current situation while showing everyone the house. Because she was afraid that Su Chen would hear, she deliberately lowered her voice. At this moment, the water enthusiasts also saw the furnishings in Tang Chen's first grade through the camera. Everyone was dumbfounded as they watched. Sleeping trough, so big. No, are you sure this is in the Tang Chen first class? This house has at least 3 or 4 small targets, right? Oh my goodness, who exactly is Su Chen? How could he have such a big house? I heard he's an engineer, I definitely feel different. Nonsense, I'm definitely not an ordinary engineer. I just don't know what I'm studying. Zhou Jie, can we take a look at Su Chen? Let him show up. This request really puts Zhou Shuyi in a difficult position. She was worried that this would make Su Chen unhappy. However, at this point, she was not familiar with the house and inexplicably switched to the study. Coincidentally, Su Chen was lying at his desk in the study writing something. The camera caught Su Chen in an instant. And coincidentally, Su Chen raised his head again. Zhou Shuyi was startled. Su Chen. I'm showing everyone the house live, didn't I disturb you? Su Chen smiled and said, it's okay, I'm excerpting the arguments from the paper. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were stunned when they heard Zhou Shuyi's voice. Who's talking? Sleeping slot. That voice was Zhou Jie just now. Ma Dan. I'm blind in my ears, right? Is this still the backlash fighter? How could Zhou be so gentle? I've fallen in love. So Zhou could still speak like this. This voice. You're not Sister Zhou. Give me Zhou Shuyi back. Give me back the fighter. Water enthusiasts can hardly believe their ears. Zhou Shuyi was like a child who had done something wrong, blushing with embarrassment. So, Su Chen, actually the fans in the live broadcast room heard about my blind date and really want to see you. How about you say hello? She quickly changed the topic, and she believed that Su Chen would definitely refuse. As long as Su Chen refuses, she immediately apologizes and runs back to the bedroom. But Su Chen was only momentarily taken aback before nodding and agreeing. After all, living under the same roof in the future, it is inevitable to be in the mirror again. Always silent, it is inevitable to make people feel that engineers are just empty-handed. Zhou Shuyi was first surprised when she received the answer, followed by surprise. She quickly adjusted to the front camera and came to Su Chen's side. As the distance pulled in, her heart also accelerated a lot. Well, I can say hello to everyone. Su Chen nodded slightly and said to the camera, hello everyone, I am Su Chen. Seeing Su Chen on camera, the barrage in the live broadcast room was ecstatic. Wow! It's a handsome guy. This is too handsome. Where did Zhou find such a handsome partner? Little brother, I heard you're an engineer. What kind of job do you do? Yes, what kind of engineer is he? He's very skilled. Upon seeing the issue in the live broadcast room, Su Chen pondered for a moment and said, I am an engineer in the semiconductor industry. The confidentiality level of the project I have been researching recently is relatively high, so I apologize for any inconvenience caused. What? Is the confidentiality level relatively high? These few words directly make everyone silly. The research is always linked to the word confidentiality. That basically means this is a very impressive cutting-edge technology. For example, videos often say things like, too advanced to showcase. In short, it's just a lack of awareness. No one dares to ask at the moment. Why? High level of confidentiality. If you insist on asking, wouldn't you be mistaken for a walking 500,000 by others? P.S. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly tickets. Dear everyone, please support me, please. Can you please make a sound while reading? There are so few book reviews, please. Chapter 8. Launch of Lithography Machine Project. Su Chen. Hug. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The water users in the live broadcast room were immediately frightened by a high level of confidentiality. After all, Zhou Shuyi is also an old hand in the live streaming industry. I immediately realized that the atmosphere was a bit cold. Hurriedly made a round. Let's stop here, everyone. We can't disturb Su Chen's busy work anymore. The water friends in the live broadcast room also took advantage of the situation. At present, I dare not provoke all the three good citizens. A crazy swipe of the screen with the phrase, Su Gong is working hard. Su Chen smiled slightly at the teasing of these water friends, and then waved goodbye to everyone. Then keep busy, I won't disturb you, Su Chen. After obtaining Su Chen's consent, Zhou Shuyi fled from the study and hid outside the door, breathing deeply. She was not frightened by Su Chen's aura or the phrase, confidentiality level, but because she had just unconsciously brought Su Chen closer. Too close. They didn't even have a fist in their distance just now. She could even smell the scent of shampoo emanating from Su Chen's body. The men I usually come into contact with are even more difficult to get 1 meter closer to myself. Plus the smile at the end, it made her feel restless. At this moment, the water friends in the live broadcast room also saw Zhou Shuyi's appearance and laughed at her one by one. Wow, Sister Zhou is blushing. I thought I saw a red light. Miss Zhou, is this a heart attack? To be honest, if I were a woman, I would also crave Su Chen's body. Zhou Jie is obviously craving her body. I'm laughing to death, is this still Sister Zhou? Will Sister Zhou still be shy? As for the old woman, if she were to learn from Sister Zhou, she would definitely be favored. When water enthusiasts mercilessly mocked Zhou Shuyi, a statement suddenly stood out in the live broadcast room. PDD. A sentence about confidentiality level scared me to split open. The appearance of the prostitute teacher excited the water enthusiasts. And PDD spoke up, and several other secretly observed anchors also emerged. Big Monkey. Grass, who and I went to visit Zhou Jie's house this afternoon. Do you want to send me to step on the sewing machine? If I see any confidential documents, I will designate to take you with me. Decima. This wave is inviting monkeys into the jar, little brother. Pineapple. It's over, I dare not go to Sister Zhou's house anymore. What should I do, Sister Zhou, my goddess? Miss Zhou, Su Gong is so skilled. Don't forget me when you enjoy your future happiness. Strongly implied, non-boire. Sister Zhou, why don't you call me when you move tomorrow? Cough, I have something to do. I didn't expect PDD to explode so many big anchors with just one sentence. Water enthusiasts are frantically scrolling through the screen. I understand, the big monkey is 500000. Grass, it was exposed early tonight. It's not too late to say when the big monkey goes another day. Brothers, we can't get this 500000. Sure, the melon skin is very good. Don't lick the pineapple, Zhou Jie is already Su Gong's, licking the dog has nothing. The old woman actually came. The old woman was in a hurry, and she started hinting that Zhou Jie had asked Su Gong to introduce her colleagues. This wave in Nanboer is not called cowardice, it's a strategic retreat. Watching the brothers and sisters come to work, Zhou Shuyi also hurries back to the bedroom. Now she can finally be released. Sleeping trough, brothers, just scared me to death. You all don't know, just as I took a picture of Su Chen, her heart stopped beating. No, let's broadcast it to Channel 2 today. I need to slow down. Also, there's no shortage of beautiful moving groups. Then Zhou Shuyi quickly contacted Xuanai and Danbao to continue broadcasting. I quickly downloaded the broadcast and secretly went to the study to sneak a peek at Su Chen. She was afraid that Su Chen would get tired of what had just happened. When she saw Su Chen, who was focused on writing at the desk, she couldn't help but begin to admire him. This kind of self-control and concentration is also too scary. Surprisingly, I returned to working mode so quickly. The next day, Su Chen drove back to the previous community with Zhou Shuyi. I heard there are live streaming equipment and other things that need to be moved. After coming, he met Shonai and Egg Treasure. The two beauties also pretended to be shy and greeted each other, calling out one brother.in.law at a time. Su Chen, can we also have Shonai and Danbao move over? We really need them during the live broadcast. Zhou Shuyi felt that her demands were a bit unreasonable. But Su Chen didn't say much. Usually there are only the two of them, so such a large house is somewhat desolate. And actually, the atmosphere is a bit awkward. He works in the study as soon as he comes back, like a stranger living under a roof. It would be great if someone could ease the atmosphere. So he didn't refuse. Seeing Su Chen nodding, Shu Nana and Egg Bao suddenly became excited and hugged each other, jumping up. Okay, long live brother.in.law. I can move into Tang Chen's first class now. I'm so excited. Without further ado, they hurriedly began packing their luggage. Su Chen looked helplessly at the pile of suitcases that Zhou Shuyi had taken out. He finally knew why Zhou Shuyi had to bring back the box she brought yesterday. Because there aren't enough boxes. You have quite a lot of things. Su Chen has also moved in before, but he has very little luggage. Just need paper, pen, computer, and 2 clothes. He used to travel to various cities on business trips to attend classes. It's common to have a sudden phone call and then catch a plane in half an hour. And the boxes and packages in front of Su Chen felt that relying solely on his car, he might not be able to carry them even after running back and forth more than 10 times. After listening to Su Chen's words, Zhou Shuyi's face turned red. In fact, girls have a lot of diverse things. And mainly there are too many clothes. Su Chen couldn't help with the big bags of many things. It's not that Su Chen is unwilling. Mainly, these are things that women use. Don't say Su Chen is sorry, Zhou Shuyi is also sorry. It wouldn't be good if I saw those close-fitting clothes. He is only responsible for moving the computer. During this time, Zhou Shuyi's phone rang. After only 1 minute, 5 or 6 girls followed behind. Each one is more beautiful than the other. Wow, Mr. Su himself. He's so handsome. Su Gong actually has time to come and help. Sister Zhou is so happy. Hello Su Gong. Please take good care of me in the future. A few girls gathered around him, causing Su Chen's palms to sweat. He really can't handle women, especially so many women. Su Chen, they are all my best friends who came by car. I called them to help. Zhou Shuyi introduced Su Chen one by one. This is a silly little girl. This is a pineapple. Nanbuer. Luoxin. Ji Qiu. There are 5 people in total. Although Su Chen is not good at dealing with women, she has a good memory and can remember their appearance at a glance. Su Gong, just put these in my car. Su Chen nodded slightly and then began moving. Because the girls came, they tidied up faster. Divided by 3 to 5, I packed all the boxes into the car. Then he drove the way and led the group back to Tang Chinipin. But to everyone's surprise, there were 3 special service vehicles parked outside the community of Tang Chinipin. And there are also many special police officers guarding around. The leader seems to be anxiously waiting. After seeing Su Chen's car, he immediately leaned in. Hello Mr. Su, there is a project that requires you to visit the research institute, and it has been listed as the highest confidential. We are ordered to escort your safety. Su Chen's eyes lit up as he knew what the project was. The project for the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine has started. He looked at Zhou Shuyi, the co-pilot, with a slightly apologetic expression on his face. Sorry, I have an urgent task and need to leave first. Moving is something. Zhou Shuyi quickly waved her hand and said, It's okay, there will be butlers to help. I will explain it to others. You go quickly. Chen nodded and got directly onto the special service car, leaving Tang Chenipin. Chapter 9. Please present your ID card. Don't worry, I won't. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Seeing Chen getting off the car ahead, the silly girl and Pineapple also gathered over. Before getting too close, a few special police officers suddenly gathered around. Hello, please present your identification documents as we need to register. Several people were immediately filled with question marks. Should this be said to be unexpected or within expectations? I had a premonition before coming. I haven't gone to visit yet, will I be tortured away? Pineapple immediately hesitated. It's over, are we going to jail now? One of the special police officers explained, Don't worry, as long as you keep what you saw and heard today confidential, we won't make things difficult. Although he said so, everyone couldn't relax at all. Because someone has already picked up a camera to take pictures of them. This is clearly recording their appearance. Quickly, all identity registration was completed. Everyone, please make sure to keep today's events confidential. We are only conducting routine registration and will not record any records, which will not affect everyone's lives. But if a few people promote this matter everywhere, it will be difficult to handle. Yes. I understand. Don't worry. Police uncle, I definitely won't talk nonsense. A few people quickly made a promise. By the time these special agents left, they were already sweating profusely. This is too scary, isn't it? Has Mr. Su already left with them? To be honest, Su Gong is also very impressive. If you still want to have a meal with Mr. Su, there's no chance. The silly girls all sighed. Zhou Shuyi patted their shoulders. What's the rush? Do we still have a chance in the future? Let's take you to see Tang Chen's first class house. As soon as Su Chen left, Zhou Shuyi immediately revealed her true form. At this moment, the butlers of Tang Chen's first rank dared to come out. Just now, so many special police officers surrounded and went up to negotiate without saying a word, which made them very anxious. Ms. Zhou, we can help you. A few butlers came up to help carry the boxes. Shunana and Danbao couldn't help but sigh. It's truly the most valuable mansion of the Pearl, the service is so thoughtful. Boss, take us up and take a look. At this time, the other sisters also put aside their regrets and prepared to feel the feeling of Thompson. Especially Pineapples. She hugged Zhou Shuyi tightly. Great, my brother Law is not at home, so I can be honest and upright. I swear, if I go in this time, I won't come out. I want to stay with my brother Law forever, and when he leaves, I will take over Sister Zhou. Zhou Shuyi pushed the Pineapple, looking disgusted. Go, go. You're not allowed inside. Don't, Sister Zhou, how could you be so ruthless? After Zhou Shuyi led everyone upstairs, everyone was directly shocked by this large flat mansion. This is too outrageous. Everyone murmured, sleeping trough. The silly girl took a cold breath and said, Excuse me, how many ping are there? Zhou Shuyi pondered for a moment, but couldn't estimate. At this moment, the butler next to him introduced, Ms. Zhou, the apartment you are living in is the largest in Tangshan first class, with a total area of 1,200 square meters. Additionally, Mr. Su's father is the largest owner of our company. We have dozens of properties under our name. Dumb girl. Pineapple. Nanhua Air. Jiqiu. Luo Xin. Zhou Shuyi was stunned. Dozens of properties. Everyone is confused. A 1,200 square meter Tang Chen is worth 500 million yuan. Dozens of properties, the remaining ones are worth tens of millions. How much does that cost? Anyway, we already have over 10 billion, right? They understand now. Chen is an engineer, or a wealthy second generation. Everyone envied it. At the same time, he also greatly admires Chen. In theory, if anyone could have this background like Chen, it would definitely be shouting. I don't want to work hard anymore. And then from then on, I fell and began to enjoy the rest of my life. Even if it's not as wealthy as Chen, there are still barrage comments in the live broadcast rooms saying, "Rich woman, I don't want to work hard anymore," every day. And Chen, with such a rich family background, surprisingly worked so hard to join the Academy of Sciences. This spirit is truly precious. Zhou Shuyi felt like she was dreaming. Anyway, let's move first. Someone reminded everyone to start work quickly. Many people have great power. Everyone is a girl, and the task is to put the clothes in the box into the wardrobe. During this period, Pineapple, a female hooligan, ran around holding Zhou Shuyi's close-fitting clothes, causing everyone to burst into laughter. After a busy day, by the time everything returned in an orderly manner, the sky had already darkened. Everyone was shocked to discover. Previously, the house in the high-end community was filled with slow stuff, but even now it is still very empty. There's no way, 1,200 square meters, it's really too big. Wow, we finally got it done. The silly girl gasped for breath. And the pineapple on the side was already exhausted. Sister Zhou, I'm starving and losing weight. When will dinner be served? Zhou Shuyi suddenly reacted. Busy all day, everyone just drank water and didn't have lunch. So he quickly started to organize. I have arranged for you to have a big meal tonight, thank you. Actually, their relationship is particularly good. Occasionally, when it's late at night, I come out to have a meal or something. At this moment, the silly girl whispered, Sister Zhou, we have finished our meal. Can I have a live broadcast here? This is Tang Chen's first grade, where would they have the chance to come here once? It's not easy to have such an opportunity, so naturally we have to seize it. And this is a 1200 square meter Tang Chen first grade, which cannot be compared to the ordinary hundreds of square meters. Throughout the entire live streaming industry, who has ever broadcasted in such luxury homes? Yesterday, Zhou Shuyi only drove for a few minutes and couldn't see everything at all. The proposal of Daxiaomi has also been echoed by others. Well. Now that Chen is not here, can I be considered the boss? It seems like Zhou Shuyi scratched her head and said, as long as you don't enter the study in Chen's bedroom, there should be no problem. Everyone is afraid of taking out confidential documents. Zhou Shuyi's words also made several people cautious. Thinking of today's warning, they were a bit hesitant. On the other side, after being escorted by special agents to the research institute, Chen immediately entered the laboratory to start working. I am currently communicating with other researchers. Chen pointed to the core part of the blueprint and explained, first, we need to understand the working principle of this part. Extreme ultraviolet light is different from deep ultraviolet light. The wavelength of deep ultraviolet light is 193 nanometers, while the wavelength of extreme ultraviolet light is only 13.5 nanometers. So deep ultraviolet light can be directly obtained, but extreme ultraviolet light cannot. In the lithography machine, we need to release 193 wavelengths of deep ultraviolet light. The pulse of light will hit the liquid metal tin, thereby exciting shorter wavelengths of light. The values here must be precise. Because liquid metal tin is only 20 microns in size and droplets fall from the air. During its movement, hit it with light twice. Upon hearing Chen's explanation, the other researchers were all taken aback. Everyone sincerely exclaimed that they would not be the most valued students by academicians. Have they never learned these things? Actually, I have learned it. But if we don't use this knowledge on a regular basis, everyone has long forgotten it. But Su Chen remembers. His memory seems to be unforgettable once he has heard of it. Perhaps this is the effort Su Chen silently put in behind the scenes. Chapter 10. Is Su Chen a related account? Yang Ping. His. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Su Chen explained to these researchers, he began to arrange work. You three are responsible for the lens arrangement of the lithography machine and require theoretical knowledge in optics. I have reviewed your materials and have taken courses in optics before. Yes, Su Gong. The light of a lithography machine is not directly directed to carve, but requires the refraction of multiple lenses, weakening and strengthening at the same time. When the extreme ultraviolet light is controlled to the most suitable wavelength, it is carved onto the wafer. This step is crucial. How many of you are responsible for calculating the dripping route of liquid metal tin? Make sure that the light pulse can concentrate the tin droplets. Yes, Su Gong. After arranging the division of labor with Yang Ping, he began his formal work. Quickly, the internal hardware of the lithography machine has been assembled. A few more days later, the lithography machine had already taken shape. They began the first chip manufacturing test. First chip production experiment, start. With a command, the wafer was sucked up by the robotic arm and entered the machine. However, before everyone could calculate the data, the machine suddenly went black. Report, liquid metal tin was not concentrated and dripped onto the panel, causing a short circuit. The experiment clearly ended in failure. Everyone was not discouraged. Because success must come after repeated failures. Soon, the second experiment began. Report, abnormal control of photolithography wavelength, resulting in wafer damage. The third time. Report, chip yield is too poor. The fourth time, the fifth time after many failures, the days calmed down and the experiment became the norm. Of course, repeated failures bring us closer and closer to success. A few days later, the staff of the research institute came to work early. They are senior engineers in the semiconductor field. Because of the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine project, everyone has gathered here. Everyone has long heard of Su Chen. However, everyone is not optimistic about this young engineer. But anyone who knows Su Chen knows that he has taken advantage of academician Yang. They believe that Su Chen's current achievements and status at this age are all due to the favoritism and care of academicians. Maybe it's background, maybe it's related parties. But what can be done? In any industry or field, everyone cannot do without relationships. They arrived early in the laboratory today, wanting to show off. But when they entered the laboratory, they were shocked to find that the clean room was not locked. If anyone accidentally enters here, all the lithography machine materials inside will be scrapped. You should know that any component of a lithography machine must be completed in a very harsh environment. It's very simple. The lithography machine is afraid of dust and light. Firstly, the size of a dust particle is several hundred micrometers. What concept? 1 micron is 1000 nanometers. When the lithography machine is working, it needs to use a nanobeam to carve. Any particle of dust will directly interrupt the experiment. Not to mention the light. The extreme ultraviolet lithography machine separates the purple light of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Because purple light has the shortest wavelength. Other light can easily interfere with the carving process. So it must be completed within the specified environment. And if the clean room is not locked, it is very likely that people will accidentally enter here. The consequences will be unimaginable. So several senior engineers quickly changed into dust suits, passed the cleaning test, and entered the clean room. However, the scene before them surprised them. Because Su Chen and academician Yang are inside. Everyone looked at each other in confusion. What is the situation? Academician Yang, you came so early. Yes, academician Yang, it's really hard work. We thought we were already early enough. However, Su Chen, who was attentively operating the machine, said, the teacher didn't go back last night. His voice is slightly hoarse. This surprised several people. What? Academician Yang, your health is important. Before waiting for their compliments, Yang Ping, who was also focused on observing the data, said, neither Xiaosu nor I have gone back. Now is the final stage of lithography machine development, do you still have the energy to sleep? This. Now everyone was stunned. Several middle-aged men in their 30s were so stunned that their faces turned red and they couldn't say a word. Actually, Yang Ping is also tired. Can you not be tired? He is almost 50 years old, and his spirit cannot be compared to Su Chen in his early 20s. But once Su Chen enters the working state, she often forgets the time. But Su Chen often makes rapid progress, and if he falls behind and keeps up with the progress the next day, it will waste time. Let other engineers keep an eye on it, but among these engineers, there isn't even one who can be Su Chen's assistant. Lack of academic excellence. In Su Chen's words, he doesn't have time to teach while working. So he can only follow along. The good news is that the project, which originally took over a month to yield results, has now come to a close with the efforts of these days. However, these senior engineers who came to participate in the project together finished work on time one by one. Most importantly, he also heard rumors and gossip. These individuals are all discussing Su Chen's treatment behind the scenes. They had no idea that Su Chen had been sleeping for no more than 3 hours a day these days. He guarantees that even when he was young, he didn't have this perseverance. So Yang Ping is preparing to give a good lecture to a few engineers. But Su Chen suddenly said, "Teacher, the last batch of data experiments are completed. I have adjusted the machine to the best position, and now all the values are closest to the ideal value. I think we can start the experiment immediately." Yang Ping immediately turned around and began verifying the values adjusted by Su Chen. They have conducted this experiment 8 times, and he can feel that it should have been successful this time. He suppressed his excitement and immediately summoned all project personnel to gather. Prepare to complete the final process. Quickly, all relevant professors, senior engineers, and other researchers from the Research Institute were present. Even several academicians from the Research Institute came. Some of these old men may not be in this field, but they also have some understanding of it. Everyone is looking forward to the successful day of this project. Lao Yang, how could your project be so fast? But this speed is not slow. From drawings to machines, from machines to chip manufacturing, I initially planned to wait for 6 months to see. Did you take it out today? Several academicians are somewhat skeptical. Yang Ping's face was a bit haggard, and he smiled faintly. Thanks to that child Su Chen, he put in tremendous effort to advance this project by a full 48 days. What? Several academicians were very surprised. And the engineers who heard the commotion also secretly whispered in surprise. With one's own efforts, accelerate the completion of the project within 48 days. This is not only a time investment, but also an extraordinary ability. It can be said that one is worth 10. While they were surprised, they also wanted to hear some gossip. Sure enough, several academicians started discussing again. I didn't expect Xiao Su to work so hard. I think it's necessary to improve his professional title. Yes, if this project is successfully completed, it is inevitable to upgrade one's professional title. Xiao Su is currently an intern engineer, so this time he can directly serve as a deputy senior engineer. Yang Ping shook his head and said, a talent like Xiao Su, I think he can skip the level. I will apply for him as a senior engineer. The years next to them were also greatly shocked. It's already great that Su Chen can become a deputy senior engineer at this age. Directly promoted to senior engineer. Is the one here who can become a senior engineer in his 30s. Although there are senior engineers under the age of 30, Su Chen has jumped 2 levels in a row. Yang Ping knew there were ears nearby and deliberately raised his voice. Some people always think that Xiao Su is getting something for nothing, but his hard work and diligence are not even seen. I don't care if others see it or not, I can't make my students feel cold. Yang Ping's words naturally entered the ears of everyone present. Upon hearing these words, they all lowered their heads. And at this moment, the experiment in the clean room is about to begin.